All right, so here we are today. We're going to talk about the differences between metal ammunition cans and plastic ammunition cans. Okay, that's a question we get all the time. What is better? What are the strengths and weaknesses of both? So today we're going to do a scorecard where we go through a battery of features, score them, and at the end we'll total it up to see what makes the most sense for your long-term storage needs. The features that we will evaluate are
stackability, fire protection, container rigidity, container strength, water and air tightness, material decomposition, and cost.
All right, so let's talk about stackability. Stackability is the first item on our list to look at. Now you can see here clearly that both plastic and metal are designed to be stackable. And frankly, both stack very well in small quantities. But clearly, this is where the metal cans shine. Keep in mind that the military, and I don't think anybody has more ammunition than the military, even you preppers out there that stack it up by the tens of thousands, these boxes are designed to be stacked to the sky, and because they're made of steel, can actually withstand great weights the higher they go. Now, these plastic cans, while they're designed to stack, I think once you get these things full, like right now, I've got this 30 cal can full of ammo, and let me tell you, it's heavy. And you stack that up, 10, 12 high, I'm gonna start getting real nervous about the structure of this can at that point. So I think at this point, we will score the plastic can a 6 out of 10, and we'll score the metal can a 10 out of 10. Okay, so the next item we're going to talk about is fire protection. This is a no-brainer here. Plastic affords no protection from fire. So without further ado, we will score plastic a 0. But the metal, on the other hand, is really quite good at protecting ammunition, especially modern day ammunition, against fire. We actually have reports that the outside of these cans can be burned pretty significantly and still maintain the quality of the ammunition on the inside of the box. Many times, even after severe fires, because of the advent of smokeless gunpowder, it no longer is an explosion, it's a fast burn. So these cans can be right in the middle of a pretty hot fire, and the ammunition inside can many times be recycled or even fired after a pretty substantial fire event. All right, so the next item we're going to talk about is container rigidity. And here again, this is an opportunity where the metal ammo cans shine. I'm going to cut away to some close-ups, and you're going to see that when these plastic ammo cans are full of ammunition, that's a pretty substantial weight, and you can actually see the sides of the can begin to bow out. This is a problem because one of the biggest problems with long-term ammo storage is you have to control humidity. And if the sides of the can are bowing out, it will usually break the connection between the lower part of the can and the lid, and there'll be a gap in between the gasket. This allows humidity to enter the can and can cause a problem with corrosion and pitting in the ammunition long term. So when we talk about container rigidity, we got a major problem with plastic. As you can see here, it bows very easily, not very rigid at all. On the other hand, we look at the metal can, exactly the same size, exactly the same amount of ammo. We can test the lid, and here you can see we're testing the lid, and there's no gap. We see the container does not flex whatsoever with the metal can. However, look at the plastic can here, and when you pull up on the handle of the lid, when it's full of ammo, you can clearly see that it breaks the seal and lets in humidity, and anything else, dirt, anything else if you're in the field, gets right inside with your ammo. So when it comes to ammo can rigidity, we're going to say that the metal again comes out on top with a perfect score of 10, and the plastic cans we're going to give a 5. All right, next item, we want to talk about container strength. Now this is the overall strength of the container. For example, when these things are loaded with ammo, this is a pretty heavy container. So say this thing rolls off the back of your Jeep or off the back of your truck onto a hard surface, Plastic is well known for splitting, giving way, and many times if this was to roll off the back of your truck, or even if you were just to pick it up under a normal load, you can see that these hinges are just made of thin plastic, and they're much more likely to give way in a stressful or even like a combat situation. This is not optimal. Now, this is a better plastic can. It's of a little higher quality, but if you look here, you still have the same plastic components. So when you pull up on the lid of this, and this 50 cal can is full of ammunition, I don't know about you, but that does not instill the greatest confidence. Now, on the other hand, with both the 50 cal or the 30 cal, all the components, including the hinges, are all metal. They snap securely into place, and you can definitely roll this off the back of your truck at will. Matter of fact, I think the next video after we get done with these is a series of stress tests where we're going to load these up and dump them off trucks and see which one holds up and do an actual stress test on them. But suffice it to say, for here today, again, we're going to have the metal coming out ahead on the score here. The plastic will have a score of 5, and the metal is going to get a perfect score once again of 10. All right, so the next item is air and water tightness. All right, well, basically, as long as a plastic can has a rubber gasket, which these do, I wouldn't recommend getting any ammo cans that do not have this rubber gasket. That is the part that will seal with the bottom part of the container to give you a watertight and airtight seal. This is critical for long-term ammo storage. Now, the metal cans and the plastic cans have those, and both I would consider to be air and water tight at the surface. However, as we have already illustrated, these plastic cans under load have a tendency to flex and bow under stress. This breaks that air and watertight seal and can cause damage to your ammunition long term. So for the scorecard, I'm going to give plastic a 7 and give the metal cans a 10. Now, decomposition just means the breakdown of the material itself. Like right now, we're in South Florida, the humidity's high, the sun is out, and it's very hot. Plastic does not like UV rays. Even the UV ray rated boxes, over a very short amount of time, will very quickly break down and decompose. This causes structural problems, weaknesses, rigidity. Many times, you go to pick up a can like this and it just will not hold up long term. Now, metal also, over time, especially when buried in the ground and so forth, can also pick up rust. But again, these are high quality anodized steel boxes. So while they will rust over time, it would take much, much longer for the materials in the metal box to break down to a point where the structure is actually compromised. So here again, I believe that metal is still a superior product over plastic for long-term storage. I'm going to give the plastic a 7 and the metal cans a 9. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about today on our scorecard is cost. I saved that till last because if you're like me, that's a major consideration. And here's where plastic edges out metal slightly. Now, at first you might think, oh, slightly, it blows it away. But upon closer inspection, I did research on high quality plastic ammo cans versus brand new metal ammunition cans. And the research on Amazon.com showed that you can buy a brand new metal 50 caliber can from about $29 to about $36. Okay? Now, the plastic, on the other hand, for a high quality, high caliber plastic can is about $24 to $27. So when you really look at it, there's only about a $5 difference in the cost of a high quality metal, American-made, brand new ammunition can and a plastic ammunition can. So it begs the question, while this is definitely cheaper, and we'll give it props for that, when you're thinking about it though, you'll spend hundreds and even thousands of dollars on the ammunition that you put inside of these boxes. Does it make sense at that point to scrimp $5 on the container that you're going to put it in? I don't personally think so. I recommend that you go to Amazon.com. If you want to, follow the link in the description of this video, and you can get a 10% off coupon and free 2-day shipping. All right, so let's score this based on price. Again, we give the plastic the nod in that it is technically cheaper, so we'll give it a score of 10. Now the metal is only slightly behind it, so we're going to give it a score of 8. All right, so we'll wrap this thing up with totaling up our scorecard, which you can now see on the screen. You can see how the numbers stack up for the different aspects of what we looked at. And we can see here that the metal ammunition cans clearly come out on top. Again, we don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on ammunition, put it in a container, only to find out a few years down the road that our investment has spoiled. So if you are interested in purchasing one of these high quality metal ammunition cans from Solid Tactical, follow the link in the description of this video for a 10% coupon, and you'll also get free 2-day shipping. I hope this answered some of the questions that you have about plastic versus metal ammunition cans, and thanks for watching.